What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Azkhalon, and welcome back to another College Football 25 video. In this video, I'm going to take a look at the mental and physical abilities for the field general quarterback archetype, and I'm going to tell you which abilities, in my opinion, are the ones you need to focus on upgrading. This video is primarily for Road to Glory players. I tend to focus more on making videos for RTG, but Dynasty players can also take note of the things that I mentioned in this video as well. All right, with that intro out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the field general quarterback abilities, and let's go. I've seen a lot of people online write off the field general quarterback because of things like the offensive line not blocking really well in the game. But if you make pre-snap offensive line adjustments and you remain calm in the pocket, the field general quarterback can be a pretty good archetype. I made a video recently about how to master passing in the game, so if you want more information about how to adjust your offensive line, then I highly recommend that you check out that video. The field general archetype really forces you to stay in the pocket, so if you want to play like Lamar Jackson, this archetype is not for you. All right, so when you fire up a new Road to Glory, now, when you go to choose your journey, one thing I want to point out is as a 5-star or a 4-star recruit, you'll get to equip a mental ability. As a 2-star and 3-star recruit, you won't get to equip a mental ability. So just keep that in mind. I mean, obviously choosing a 5-star is the best option because you get to level up faster. You already start off with your attributes and various things at a certain level. So when I go into quarterback, I will see the 3 different quarterback types. So we're focusing only on field general in this video. But if you look on the screen, you will see the different rating categories and the different caps that you have for whatever archetype that you select. Obviously, with the field general quarterback, accuracy, power, IQ, and health are things that you really want to focus on. Elusiveness and quickness is not an important thing for a field general quarterback since you tend to stay in the pocket. So just keep that in mind before choosing this archetype. So to the right, you will see the physical abilities. You have access to all physical abilities that you can purchase and then upgrade throughout your career. So you have access to all 5 of these. Then you can also see the 5 different mental abilities. These mental abilities are the same for any quarterback archetype. Like I said earlier, as a 4 or 5-star recruit, you get to choose one of these from the get-go, but as a 2 or 3-star recruit, you don't have that option. So with the mental abilities, you have to choose between winning time, which is increased composure late in close games, the natural, improved ability to resist weather impacts, team player, improved ability to play out of position, field general shows post-snap blitzers, headstrong resists hot routes being incorrect due to stadium pulse. And then for the physical abilities for a field general quarterback, you have Sleight of Hand, which boosts for play action trick plays, step up, accuracy boost climbing a clean pocket, resistance, resist pressure from the pocket, dot, increase accuracy in pocket for open receivers, and then pull down, which boosts ball security standing in pocket. Now, these descriptions are very vague, but basically with your mental and physical abilities, they get a little better as you go from bronze to silver, and then silver to gold, and then gold to platinum. And in some cases, platinum may add an extra perk. There is a way to see all of the physical and mental abilities in the game and what you gain as you upgrade through each level. So I'm going to back out of Road to Glory for just a second and show you where to find that. So if you scroll over to more, you'll see abilities. And so when you go in, you can see all of the different abilities in the game for every position. The one downside to this chart here is that they are not in alphabetical order, these abilities, but all of the physical abilities, as you see here, are at the beginning. They're at the top. And then as you keep scrolling down, you'll get to all the different mental abilities down at the bottom. So if you're looking for a particular ability that's physical or mental, that's where you would go to find it. So like if you look here at chip shot, for example, you can see what you would get at the bronze level. So slightly easier accuracy timing on short field goals. And then if you upgrade it, you can see that increases steadily all the way up to platinum, which is ultimate accuracy timing on short field goals. This is a good thing to look at ahead of time because this can really help you in figuring out which abilities that you want to focus on. All right, so let's get back in the Road to Glory really quickly. So after you choose your archetype, I'm gonna skip all of this stuff here. I'm gonna first talk about the mental abilities. So we're gonna take a closer look at these. I do want to point out that in Dynasty, mental abilities don't progress like physical abilities do. And also, if you recruit a player in Dynasty that doesn't have a mental ability, then they will never have one. So all quarterback archetypes have the same 5 options for a mental ability, and then everybody gets fan favorite, road dog, and clear-headed. So I want to start with those 3 before I talk about which mental abilities I recommend getting. So fan favorite, you get increased composure gains at home, and this one is tied to your GPA. So the higher your GPA, the more upgraded fan favorite is. And these abilities you just get, you know, automatically. These mental abilities you get automatically for playing the game. These are not ones that you actually choose. These will be activated based on the associated meter value. So again, with fan favorite, the higher your GPA, the more increased composure you have at home. And your GPA will fluctuate. So I don't necessarily worry about these 3 too much, because your GPA will fluctuate throughout your career, which I think is kind of stupid. Like once you get to a 4.0, you can't just stay there. At the end of each season, it drops you back down. And based on the decisions that you make in some of the text messages and how you perform academically based on how much you focus on, you know, using your weekly energy to increase your academics, fan favorite all depends on that. So I don't really focus on that. I just try to keep my academics high enough so I can play. Road dog is increased composure gains on the road. This one is tied to followers. So again, with your weekly agenda energy, depending on how much you dump into your followers will depend on how much road dog upgrades. And then the last one is clear-headed. This is protection from composure loss in general. This is tied to leadership. So again, the more leadership you have, the more this one is upgraded. I tend to focus more so on leadership than my brand, so I usually have clear-headed, and then I spend a decent amount of time on academics because I want to be eligible to play. But the 5 abilities that you do have to choose from, as you can see there, it's the winning time, the natural team player, field general, and headstrong. And like I said, these are the same 5 for any quarterback archetype that you select in the game. The first mental ability I want to take a look at is team player. I do not recommend this ability for Road to Glory. As you can see here at the bronze level, you get a slight protection from negative rating impacts for playing out of position, all the way up to platinum, which is ultimate protection from negative rating impacts for playing out of position. In Road to Glory, you're controlling 1 player, so I don't know why you would pick this one. In Dynasty, of course, this one can be beneficial if you were looking to move a player to a different position. I did see on Reddit that a guy created a cornerback in Road to Glory though, and ended up playing strong safety some. So I guess in that situation, this ability might be useful. But I don't know if the guy was lying, because I've never seen anything like that, and I've done a whole career playing cornerback in Road to Glory in this game. I have seen a power running back play fullback though before he was the starter, so it is possible, I guess. But as a quarterback, I doubt that they would place you in a different position in Road to Glory, so this ability is useless. The other mental ability that I don't recommend really for a Road to Glory field general quarterback is winning time. So at the bronze level, you get slightly increased composure with 2 minutes to go when the score difference is 3 or less, and then all the way to platinum, which is ultimate composure with 2 minutes to go when the score difference is 10 or less. So basically it focuses on a 2-minute drill, and the more upgraded this ability is, the greater the point difference can be, and you will have, you know, composure, and your composure also increase with each level that you upgraded as well. I would only choose this ability because, as we all know, the AI likes to cheat in this game. In the second half, it's like you could be up by 20 points, and then in the second half, the computer AI all of a sudden comes to life, especially on the higher difficulty settings, and then you find yourself on offense not able to move the ball, or on defense you're unable to stop them. So that's the only reason why I would possibly choose this ability. But the thing is, this ability is unreliable in 2 ways. If the AI wants you to lose, it will most likely happen, especially in Road to Glory when you're controlling only yourself. You have, like on offense, you have no control over the defense. I've seen several games where it's simming on defense and the other team scored 2 or 3 times. So if the AI wants you to lose in a Road to Glory, it will most likely happen. Now, of course, in Dynasty, you have a little more control over that, because you can play offense and defense. But the second reason why this ability is unreliable is it depends too much on the score during the 2-minute drill at the end of the game. If you're not within 3 to 10 points, depending on how much you've upgraded this ability, then it's pretty much useless. So I don't really recommend this one for Road to Glory. Now, the ones that I do recommend are the 3 remaining mental abilities. The natural is the one that I recommend the least out of the 3 that are remaining. So at the bronze level, you get slightly improved ability to resist weather impacts. And then at platinum, you get the ultimate ability to resist weather impacts. This sounds really cool at first, and again, this is an ability to consider for Road to Glory, especially if you attend a school where rain or snow is more likely to occur during games. But I don't feel it is necessary since you're only controlling 1 player. Now in Dynasty mode though, I don't see a whole lot of people speaking about how good this ability is. Not having this ability for most of your players in Dynasty can absolutely disrupt your game plan with drop passes and fumbles when it's raining or snowing. So definitely pay attention to this ability when recruiting athletes to your team. But as far as Road to Glory goes, I wouldn't necessarily focus on this one, but it's not a bad ability to have. But I do feel like the other 2 I haven't talked about yet are better. All right, Headstrong, I really recommend Headstrong as a mental ability. It's kind of like a 1B or in some cases a 1A to Field General. Like, I recommend both of those tremendously. So as you can see here at the bronze level, you resist hot routes being incorrect and slight composure protection from Stadium Pulse, all the way up to platinum, which resists any pre-play adjustment failing and ultimate composure protection from Stadium Pulse. This ability and Field General are the best in my opinion. Away games can suck so bad without the Headstrong ability depending on where you're playing. When the Stadium Pulse is high, it can have detrimental effects on your team. This ability really changes the game, like literally. Getting this ability to platinum pretty much shields you from the effects of the Stadium Pulse so that your hot routes and audibles will work, and then you don't have to memorize the play art because you can just look at it. You got to worry about it changing and all the squiggly lines and stuff like that. So Headstrong is one I definitely recommend if you like to do hot routes and you know you're really one of those quarterbacks that changes a lot of things at the line of scrimmage pre-snap. I love Headstrong, and it's one that I typically use when playing quarterback in Road to Glory, but I've grown to really appreciate Field General recently. Field General is a little misleading, at least at first based on the description. As you can see at the bronze level, when on schedule, moderate ability to see post-snap blitzers. So you can kind of see who's blitzing from time to time. When you upgrade it to platinum, when on schedule, ultimate ability to see pre-snap blitzers, coverage shell, and slight ability to see disguised coverages. That is huge. That is a game changer. And I hate that vague description early on does not tell you that, because I wrote this ability off at first because of that vague description. I was like, it's only focusing on identifying blitzers. I coach football. I can kind of pick up on that a lot of times. But then gaining the ability to see coverages, I mean, that is huge, especially if you don't fully understand the game of football. Like, you don't necessarily know how to look at a defense and read the coverage. Having this ability platinum can really help with that. So I highly recommend this ability or Headstrong when picking any quarterback archetype in Road to Glory. Also, look for these abilities in Dynasty as well. If you look online, you'll see that a lot of people typically recommend recruiting quarterbacks to your team that have that platinum Field General ability. All right, let's move on to the Field General physical abilities. So the Field General has 5 physical abilities, 3 of which are unique to this archetype, and those 3 are Dot, Step Up, and Resistance, and then 2 that are shared with the Improviser archetype. The Improviser archetype is kind of a hybrid of Field General and Scrambler, and so the Field General archetype shares Pull Down and Sleight of Hand with the Improviser archetype. The 2 abilities shared with the Improviser archetypes are actually the 2 abilities that I don't recommend you really worrying about upgrading unless you have upgraded everything else that you want to and you have skill points left over. Other than that, I don't recommend, and this is my opinion, touching those 2 abilities. But let's take a closer look at each of those abilities so you can kind of see why I don't recommend 2 of them. So for Sleight of Hand at the bronze tier, you get slightly increased ability to fake defenders using play action on first down or less than 3 to gain. So I'm assuming 3 yards left to gain to get a first down. All the way to platinum, which is ultimate ability to fake defenders using play action on first down or less than 3 to gain. I don't really care for this ability, as I haven't seen much of a difference when having this ability and not having this ability as far as faking out the defenders. Like, even without this ability, sometimes the defenders are faked out. Like, if I'm faking the handoff, sometimes the defenders go for the running back. And then also, you know, you may have blown coverages in the secondary. So really, I've seen that happen even without this ability. I guess this ability increases that happening, but in my experience with it, I haven't seen many differences. So some of you might have had a different experience with it. And if you love this ability, then that's cool, but I just don't care for it. It relies too much on first downs, and that's usually when I don't use play actions to begin with. I like to establish the run game first and then use a play action pass to throw the defenders off after they are focused on stopping me from running the ball. So if you personally love this ability, that's awesome, but I don't find it useful for my play style. All right, pull down. I'm kind of torn about pull down because I think it's a decent ability to have. So this one, I don't necessarily recommend it, and you'll see why in just a second. But at the bronze level, you get a slightly improved ball security when sacked while standing in the pocket. And in platinum, you get ultimate ball security when sacked or throwing, including scrambling behind the line of scrimmage. So this ability on the surface seems like it would be a really good ability to have. And some of you are probably like, as a quarterback, why would you not recommend pull down? I don't necessarily recommend it because the amount of times that you fumble in this game is all over the place. Like, I once had a frustrating road to glory game at quarterback where I fumbled 3 times during the game. And then once I had a game where I fumbled on the opening drive deep in my team's territory. So those situations sucked. But most of the time, I usually don't fumble in a game. So this ability is not necessarily a necessity, and that's why I don't recommend it. But if you feel like you fumble often, then this might be an ability that you may want to look into getting and upgrading. Now, the other 3 physical abilities are perfect for the field general quarterback because they all involve staying in the pocket. So resistance is the one I want to look at next. At the bronze level, when standing in the pocket, you get slight protection from medium pressure. And then at platinum, when standing in the pocket, you get ultimate protection from pressure. Out of all of the abilities, this one is a lot more vague to me than the other abilities, but it is one I would recommend upgrading because from what I've gathered while experimenting, this ability seems to make your O-line better. I know it's a quarterback ability, but it seems like my O-line holds their blocks longer depending on the pressure, even without me making O-line adjustments. Now, I could be wrong about this, so if you have some insight, please chime in the comments below. But I've scoured the internet for more information about this ability, and I haven't been able to find anything other than the vague description given to us by EA. But I feel that any ability that helps you in the pocket as a field general quarterback is worth upgrading in my book. So again, from my experience, resistance seems to make your O-line hold that pocket better as long as you stay inside the pocket. But the moment you start to get out of it, those DNs or whatever are going to eat you alive. Also with resistance, I also noticed that you tend to be able to get passes off better when under pressure. So basically you're a little bit more calm in the face of danger, I guess. So if somebody starts to break through the pocket, you can still, get off passes. Whereas if you don't have resistance, you may not be able to get those passes off as much depending on, the sack animation and various things like that. All right, Step Up and Dot are 2 abilities that I really recommend for a field general quarterback. I really recommend you upgrading these as high as you can go throughout your road to glory career. So for Step Up at the bronze level, you get slightly improved accuracy when stepping up into the pocket and not under pressure. And then platinum, you get ultimate accuracy when stepping up into the pocket and not under pressure. So the field general is all about staying in the pocket and making accurate throws. So Step Up is an ability I would definitely recommend. If your O-line is solid and doing well, upgrading this ability can really help you with accuracy no matter your passing setting. I like to use placement and accuracy, and I've noticed that I have more control over placing the ball by upgrading this ability. I'm a lot more accurate even in like double coverage and various things like that. I've also seen that if you use classic passing, which is affected by your ratings, this ability will help because you have to improve your accuracy rating in order to upgrade it. So for Step Up, you got to improve your medium accuracy in order to be able to upgrade it to the different levels. And then with Dot, your deep accuracy is affected by it. And so any boost you get to accuracy just makes things a whole lot better because you're already improving your overall accuracy with your ratings. So Step Up and Dot are definitely two that I recommend for a field general quarterback. All right, speaking of dot, so at the bronze level, you get slight accuracy boost when throwing to open receivers with feet set and a clean pocket. And then at platinum, you get ultimate accuracy when throwing to open receivers with feet set and a clean pocket. This and step up, like I've already mentioned, are my two favorite abilities to focus on as a field general quarterback. You get an accuracy boost when you're in the pocket and not moving around. That's why both dot and step up are good to upgrade, because sometimes you are calm and collected in the pocket, you drop back, you set your feet before letting the ball go, so that's when dot comes into play. But then sometimes as the pocket starts to collapse around you, you may need to step up in the pocket. That's when step up comes into play. And again, both of these rely on you upgrading your accuracy ratings, medium and deep. And so you're just getting better all around with being accurate. And a lot of people complain so much about throwing interceptions. Well, playing as a field general, dot and step up can really help you avoid throwing a lot of picks. One thing I didn't mention earlier in the video is your physical abilities are upgraded based on certain attributes that you have for your ratings. And then the mental ability that you select is based on your performance in the game. So like if you select field general, in order to upgrade that one the first time, you got to throw for 20 touchdowns in a season. So a simpler way of putting that, physicals are connected to ratings, mentals are connected to your in-game performances. And that brings me to the end of another College Football 25 video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. I really truly hope that you found this video insightful, and I hope that it helps you to better understand the different abilities available to you as a field general quarterback. I plan to cover the other two quarterback archetypes in future videos, so be on the lookout for those. And who knows, I might even cover other positions as well. Quarterback is one I tend to play the most, and so I have the most knowledge about the quarterback position in the game. But if you want me to cover, running back, wide receiver, cornerback, whatever, just let me know in the comments below and I got you. So drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts about the video. What are some of your favorite abilities to have as a field general quarterback? Have you had much experience playing as a field general quarterback? And please, if you understand the resistance ability a little bit better than I do, please drop me a comment and let me know and give me some insight to that one. If you're new around here, check out all of my content. In addition to College Football 25 tutorial videos, I got a Road to Glory playthrough series that I'm going through with College Football 25. I do other gaming content on my channel. I got Let's Plays of indie horror games, unboxing videos of video games monthly content, a whole lot of gaming content on my channel for you guys. So if you like what you're seeing here, definitely hit that subscribe button and join the Azkhalon community today. And speaking of joining the Azkhalon community, a lot of you have asked about channel memberships. That is now active on my channel for $1.99 per month. So $2 a month, you get access to custom emojis to use in comments and live chat. You get priority replies to comments on my videos. You get a member shout out at the end of every video that I create. You get photos and status updates, so you get some behind the scene action as a community post about my upcoming videos and ideas. And then twice a month, once I hit at least 10 channel members, I would do a members only live stream twice a month to check in with the community, let you guys select, maybe the game that I'm playing, or we just sit and chat, whatever you guys will be interested in. So some of you have asked me about it. I just wanted to shout that out really quickly. This is totally an optional thing. You do not have to join as a channel member, but if you want to help support my channel, I would greatly appreciate that as I continue to make videos on YouTube. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys in another video, whatever video that may be. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. You could have been anywhere in the world playing College Football 25 yourself, but you chose to spend some time with your boy Azkhalon, and I greatly appreciate it. Y'all take care. Peace.